a dream that repeats itself. I never believed in prophetic dreams. I always felt like a dream was just a noise in my head. Mixed memories, fears, random insults. Something that doesn't matter. Until the moment when the same dream began to repeat. I first saw him on the night from Monday to Tuesday. It was no different from hundreds of others. I went to bed late, thinking that tomorrow would be a normal day again. No events. No surprises. The dream was simple. I was standing in a long corridor. Grey walls, dim light of lamps under the ceiling. No windows, no doors, only a corridor that stretched forward, as if without end. There is a cold tile underfoot. I walk slowly, hearing only my own footsteps. It's okay. Nothing surprising. Until I woke up with a strange feeling, as if I had seen it before. The next night the dream was repeated. The same corridor. The same lamps. The same steps. I stopped in the middle and suddenly noticed a detail that had not been there before. A dark spot appeared on the wall on the left. It's like a trace of moisture or a long dry liquid. She was small, but for some reason she attracted the eye. I came closer and woke up at that moment. My heart was beating faster than usual, but I didn't give it any importance. Only in the morning, leaving the apartment, I noticed exactly the same stain on the wall of the entrance. At the same level. The same form. I stopped. I looked at her for a few seconds. Then he smiled and told himself that it was just a coincidence. There are thousands of spots in the city. There are millions of images in dreams. On the third night, a sound appeared in the dream. The corridor remained the same. But somewhere far away, ahead, I heard a dull knock. Uneven. It's like someone was hitting metal, but very slowly. Once. Pause. Once. I didn't see the sound source. I just knew he was there. And I knew that if I went further, it would be louder. I woke up abruptly. The apartment was quiet. Too quiet. And in a few minutes, when I was almost asleep again, there was a knock from below. Someone's neighbors missed something. One blow. Then another one. With the same pause. I was lying, looking at the ceiling, and for the first time I thought, what if it's not just a dream? After that, dreams began to come every night. The corridor no longer seemed empty. On the fourth night, a chair pressed against the wall appeared in him. Old, wooden, with a scratched back. I walked past it, and it seemed to me that it was not standing as the furniture should stand. It's like it was put on for someone. The next day, the same chair appeared on the landing of my floor. None of the neighbors admitted that they were theirs. I started to sleep badly. I started counting the hours until the night, not out of curiosity, but out of fear, because I knew that the dream would return, and brings with it another detail. On the fifth night, I saw the door for the first time. They were at the end of the corridor, dark, without a handle, with barely noticeable scratches, as if someone tried to open them from the inside. I didn't approach them, just stood and watched. And when I woke up, I found that the door in the closet of my apartment was now without a handle. She disappeared. Just like that. As if it never existed. I didn't go to work that day. I sat at home and tried to remember if there was a sleep corridor somewhere in my life. Hospital? School? Basement? No. But the feeling of familiarity did not disappear. On the sixth night, there was a smell in the corridor. Rawness. Cold. And something else. Barely catchy. The smell of an old room that hasn't been opened for a long time. I woke up to the same smell in my bedroom. I got up, walked around the apartment. Nothing. But the smell remained for a few more minutes before it disappeared. I began to be afraid to fall asleep. I drank coffee late at night. I turned on the light. I opened the windows. But the dream came anyway. On the seventh night, a man appeared in the corridor. She stood with her back to me. Immovable. In dark clothes. I didn't see the face, but I knew that if she turned around, I would understand something. Something I don't want to know. I woke up screaming. And in the afternoon in the elevator, I saw a man in the same clothes standing with his back to me. He came out on my floor and disappeared behind the corner of the corridor. I didn't follow him. Then I understood the main thing. The dream does not show the future. He creates it. Every new detail that appeared in a dream then entered my reality, as if the dream was a draft. And life is a cleaner. I decided not to sleep. I held out for 2 nights. On the third, it just turned off. In the dream, I was in the corridor again. But now I know where I am. It was my driveway, only without windows. No apartment numbers. No going outside. I walked to the door at the end of the corridor. They slowly opened. There was a room behind them. And there is a bed in the room. Someone was lying on it. I came closer and saw myself. Sleeper, with eyes open. And at that moment I heard a voice. Quiet. Familiar. The next detail will appear when you wake up. I woke up in the dark, and I realized that I couldn't move. I heard breathing. Not my own. Nearby. Very close. And then I remembered. In the first dream, the corridor was empty. But now there is always someone in it. If this story seems familiar to you, maybe you've already seen her in your dream.